Babe?
Filming a video.
Filming a video.
Oh my gosh, you're my little fairy princess. Look at the camera and say, hasta la vista, baby.
Welcome to my channel.
This is not your channel, this
It's
is
our
my
channel. What?
So if y'all don't know Jordan, he's my fiance.
Little tell.
We have video, our engagement video actually, if you want to watch that, I'll link that down below for y'all. We've been engaged for about 5 months. Our engagement is going to be 10 months long and it has been
a ride.
Hard.
When we were dating for 2.5 years, I think we probably fought like 3 times, and we fought
like 3 times a week.
30 times in like 2 months.
It's been really difficult, and I feel like nobody really talks about this engagement period. They talk about marriage, they talk about dating, they're both really exciting, but not the in-between.
Yeah, why aren't there any books on engagement?
I think it's because engagement kind of looks different for everyone, and so I wanted to tell y'all, or we want to tell you about like our personal experience with engagement, and kind of like what we've been learning, what we've been struggling with, and just like what's been going on. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I haven't been posting that many videos lately because I'm like freaking stressed out all the time. I just moved into a new home, have 0 furniture. Jordan will be moving into this home once we get married in May. Also trying to plan a wedding, and then also trying to launch our businesses. And it's just been a lot. I just wanted to kind of update y'all with engagement and why it sucks.
Why it sucks. You should get married,
Yeah.
You should date, but you should never be engaged.
Yeah, like before I get started, why are you so excited about marriage? Like what's your most, like what you're looking forward to the most?
Well, so there's like a personal side and then there's a spiritual side. The personal side is that, like I always tell people that, in 2.5 years, like I fell more in love with Dani every day, and we became best friends, and we had this super adventurous life, and she would chase her dreams and then I would chase her, and then I would chase my dreams and then she would chase me, and we just always respected each other, and we were such a good team. Like she just was the person that I wanted to wake up to every single day for the rest of my life. On the spiritual,
and the sleepovers for life.
On the spiritual side, like I think that I've always believed that marriage was a very divine creation. It was something that God brought 2 people together because I'm things that Dani's not, and Dani's things that I'm not, and through us butting heads on those things, I become better and she becomes better, and we become closer to Jesus through our relationship, which is actually, it sounds like a nice thing to say, but it actually is very real, and I think that marriage takes that to a whole nother level.
What he said.
Marriage! I freaking hate engagement.
I
was the one who wanted to elope.
He did want to elope. I love ceremonies. He doesn't love ceremonies. He didn't go to his high school graduation,
or my
college graduation. I'm all about the ceremonial.
My whole thing is like you work towards something. Like we worked for 2.5 years on loving each other well. Like that was a job. Like why do we have to make that official in one big day that takes 10 months to plan?
Well, and I think it's really all like personal preference too, in terms of like what each one of you want in terms of a wedding or having a ceremony or having anything. I considered eloping a lot, mainly because I hate spending money. It just like pains me to think about how much weddings cost. But when I really put everything into perspective, it was really important for me to have a wedding where I could just have everyone that I care about so much all in one place. And I just feel like there's never gonna be a time like that again. And so that was really important to me. And we've had to work through like Jordan being able to see like my perspective and me seeing his perspective. And like ultimately we've come to a conclusion, which is having a wedding, but just keeping it on a pretty strict budget. So the first topic, we kind of made a little outline for y'all, is we want to talk about like patience in our engagement.
So engagement on average, what's the average engagement time? 6 months?
Well, it's really different for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's why engagement
It's
sucks.
more so like wedding planning takes, like it can take 6 to 12 months.
So ours is going to be 10 months long. So when you have this huge momentous moment where you like propose to the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and then you say, hey, you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, you're going to be able to wake up next to that person every day, but you need to wait another 10 months to 12 months, patience becomes very, very, very important. And I don't think either of us are very patient people.
We're not, and so we were really frustrated the first couple of months, but on the flip side of that, it is cool how God can use those 10 months so far 5 months where we were just like really anxious and just like wanting to like just get this thing over with. But it's been really cool how like in that time period, God has really used it to still grow us as individuals. Before, it's almost like he's like prepping us for marriage, and there's been so much that like God's been teaching me about how I can be like a better wife and just like a better partner and a better friend to Jordan, that if we would have just gotten like married right off the bat, like it could have been kind of messy. So the next thing was wedding planning, which I know we kind of talked about that a little bit. It's been very expensive. It like makes me feel guilty for spending that money sometimes. It's been very time consuming. I do think that God is teaching us how to like work together. We've never really had to work together. Like we haven't worked together.
We both like shared ideas, but we've never worked together.
Like actually execute,
and we work very differently than one another. Like Dani is like, let's get into a room and collaborate, and I'm like, just leave me alone and let me go do this.
Yeah.
Like, and so we both had to really be refined in that sense.
Okay, so the next topic is finances. In terms of finances, I think what's been really difficult is merging two lives. We haven't really merged our bank accounts yet, but like you're going to, so you don't know like how your spending habits should change. Because like when you're single, even if you're dating someone, like your spending habits, you have so much freedom.
Yeah, when you're dating someone, you're still like, kind of a bachelor. Like
you can kind of like
do whatever you want.
And now now that we're going to like merge our bank accounts in May, I'm like, you spent $4 on a cup of coffee
every morning, Monday through Friday.
I'm like, do you know how much money that is? Like, it adds up. And then he's like, you spent how much on getting your nails done?
Yeah, and you gotta like, you can challenge, but you've got to understand like where the person's coming from, and it's just not.
Yeah.
You can't just have a snap judgment on saying you can't do this. Like, you can't control another person. You really have to have a full picture of like what makes this person happy and why is this valuable.
And then you have to, if you really think something should change, though, you have to basically like come to an agreement, and not an argument, but like talk about it and be like, okay, Dani, you can still get your nails done, but you need to go to this spa instead of the bougie spa, you know? It's been really cool to like have Jordan come in with his wisdom about finances, and his like, he has a very conservative view on money, and it's been really cool to see that and like him kind of influence me in that way. And then also I've had a really hard time like tithing, because like my income, the way it is, like I'm sure anyone who's self-employed or like a freelancer, it's never consistent. Like 1 month I'm like up here, the other month I'm down here, and I don't know how much money I make because I don't get paid for like 3 months usually. And so it was really hard for me to tithe consistently, and just having Jordan come in and help me with that and express to me like how important that is.
And it ultimately is the path to joy. Like his obedience to God like is what produces joy.
So that's something that's been cool about struggling with finances, but it's really hard too because I like getting my nails done. Last topic I wanted to talk about was family. We both love our families so much. Like we're both so close to our families. I feel like we both like feel like we owe our parents like the world, because they gave us so like much, and they provided for us our whole lives, and like we're so lucky and we love them and want to make them happy. But we are now Jordan and Dani. Like in May we're going to be Jordan and Dani, and like sometimes Jordan and Dani have to make decisions that are best for Jordan and Dani, even though the parents don't agree. And that is something that's so hard for us, because I just want my parents to always be happy and support my decision. But we have to accept the fact that like we are maturing, and if we're like constantly praying and in the word and trying to run after God, that like even though the crowd might not approve of our decision, like we know that it's best for us. Those are some of the topics. If y'all have any other questions, I would love to hear from y'all in the comments, or if you have like video ideas that you want Jordan and I to film, I would love to hear about y'all's engagement experience.